Hello, everyone. This is a new podcast by MOER, which stands for Making Our Economy Right. MOER is a tiny organization founded in 1991 in Bangladesh after the fall of the Soviet Communist Empire. Communism, however, still exists in various forms, and this is why MOER continues to promote the liberalization of the economy, also known as the free market enterprise. Economies, unlike politics, do not thrive under bureaucratic restrictions or political boundaries. The economy is one. It is interconnected and we are all interdependent. Economies cannot survive in isolation unless in a totalitarian aura. To meet our unending demands and for our growth and prosperity, we need maximum economic freedom for the people of Bangladesh and the world. Thank you and hope you will find or at least listen to our podcast at your convenience. Hoping you like this one too. Bye now. Hi, Ashraf. Thank you very much for coming to our place to have this recording done. I would like to know about your, views about business and the global scenario, what is happening. I know you have a lot of political wisdom in you. You follow a lot of political activities around the world, and you're very concerned as a citizen, as a Bangladeshi. So, how are you doing, Ashraf? Chowdhury Ashraf Hossain.
Honestly, I'm doing more or less fine. Of course, I'm grateful to the Almighty that even almost at the age of 73, I'm very much workable. I'm movable and all that.
Excellent. You mean you're in good health?
Yes.
Excellent. So our country is it in a good health? How do you say that? How would you
But
say
it
it?
should be in a good health. I don't think it's in a bad health. It should have been much better. But even then, we have some achievements. We could have achieved much more. Hopefully, it will be done in the due process.
Where do you find the strength or the weaknesses?
Well, strength, before that, I must be thankful to you that you have invited me to these discussions. Look, what I feel personally, the Bangladesh cannot be singled out. There are so many countries in the world, especially in the third world. They are running their affairs in their own way, not necessarily in a democratic way. I am telling you that almost all the countries of the third world countries, I mean the countries in Asia, in Middle East, in Africa, in South America.
Right.
So what is happening there? So if you consider all these things, Bangladesh cannot be singled out. Fortunately or unfortunately, only the democratic countries in the world, which is roughly, to my mind, it is around 30 countries or so.
Really?
It should not be more than that.
And are you going to call the United States of America as democratic?
Yes, of course. We cannot deny that. They are the most advanced nation in the world as far as technology is concerned, as far as economy is concerned, as far as education is concerned, as far as research is concerned. How can we deny it?
No, but are they democratic?
Well, apparently they are democratic. We can't say that they are not democratic.
Why? Because let's say you're on social platforms like Facebook. I know you avoid Facebook, but even Google, they do a lot of censoring the.
Of course, they are doing a lot of censored things, no doubt. They are doing a lot of mischievous things for the last 75 years or so, especially since the Second World War. Right. Despite all these bottlenecks, all these what I say, defects and demerits, they are advancing. They are showing the path to the entire mankind. Not only the United States of America, it is also the Western Europe. They have also contributed tremendously, which cannot be denied, to my mind. Of course, there are so many defects, demerits, and they have done so many things off the track which they should not have done. So how would you say that they are not democratic? Yes, from their perspective, they are democratic. But we cannot build up. The third world countries could not build up a democratic setup. They could not build up any organizations. They could not build up any institutions, which is very important. Unless you can do that, how can you make progress?
But আমরা তো এই যে থার্ড ওয়ার্ল্ড কান্ট্রি সো কল্ড দ্য ডেভেলপিং ওয়ার্ল্ড আমরা তো we are following their prescription, the World Bank prescription.
We are undone.
We have the development economics.
Yes, we are a little bit undone. We are helpless because what contribution we have made to the Committee of Nations? Unfortunately, third world countries have made a very little contribution towards the development of human society. Can we deny that? We cannot, perhaps.
But তোমার কি মনে হয় না যে we are all suffering from some kind of a misleading ideology?
Naturally,
how the society...
yes, but the thing is this: we must build ourselves first. We must concentrate on education. We must concentrate in research. We must try to grab the science and technology, which we are not doing. So how can you blame other people? How do you do that?
But তুমি যেমন বললা যে আমেরিকায় let's say democracy in my opinion নাই, and ধরো but they have a lot of freedom, so they can pursue science and research and maybe even investments. না আমাদের দেশে কি বা থার্ড ওয়ার্ল্ড কান্ট্রিজে কি ফ্রিডম কম আছে, that is why we can't?
Well, there is an old proverb. The saying is this: the might is right. So what is the might? Might, real might is education. Real might is science and technology, which you do not have. We are not striving for that. We are blaming so many, this country, that country, so many powers. But we are not concentrating to gain power and strength. Look at the Middle East. They have a lot of wealth, lot of money. But they cannot stand the Israelis. Why? Plain and simple. Israel, though very small country, with a very limited space, they are very powerful. Now they have advanced not only in education, not only in science and technology, they have advanced in agriculture. Perhaps at the moment they're the most advanced agricultural country in the world. Not to speak of the medical, the achievement they have made in the medical science. So we are not learning that. Rather, we are blaming some other people. Yes, we are being misguided. There are a lot of space for us to be misguided. Who is to be blamed for that? We are not asking it is the soul searching. We must ask ourselves, what's the wrong with we people? Or
So what do you think, what is wrong with us?
Well, the thing is that we are not disciplined, we are not education, we do not have any vision. We are, it's an illusion rather, I should say. What is the real direction? We do not have the leadership, we do not have the democratic setup, we do not have the institutions. So these are the basic lackings, How to overcome it? Nobody is answering this question. We are blaming each other. We are blaming this party, that party. That will not bring the desired result.
But আমরা তো এইভাবেই we have been
Well,
living
if you continue like this, you will all continue like this for eternity.
Yeah.
That's what I think. This is specifically my views. Maybe you do not agree with me. Maybe a lot of people will not agree with me.
No, you're not very pessimistic, but you're not optimistic either. So
Well, I have all reasons to be. I have all reasons to be optimistic. If we get that proper leadership, I mean, not only in Bangladesh, entire third world countries, who can guide these nations towards the desired goal, then there is, why should we be pessimistic in that way? We should be all optimistic.
আমাদের থার্ড ওয়ার্ল্ডে ধরো লিডার যেমন ছিল লিটওয়ান, of Singapore,
Yes.
or even Mahathir, who stood up against the world financial system at
Yes,
one
of
point.
course. Yes, they made significant contributions towards.
Yes. But like, many people would say Singapore is a tiny island. It's
Yes,
not a
of course.
country, number one.
But Malaysia is not that tiny island.
Malaysia doesn't have so many people. It's a big
But even then,
territory.
30 million, I
But
believe.
Malaysia itself has a lot of corruption in the administration, you know? And
Since Mahathir Mohamad departed, during his time, we never heard of so much of corruption. Lately, for the last few years, there are, of course, allegations of corruptions. In fact, one of the prime ministers have been imprisoned. Another prime,
you saw that PM when he resigned.
and
His house was full of currencies.
yes,
That kind of corruption.
yes, that kind of corruption. As far as Lee Kuan is concerned, he was an outstanding personality, though it's a very small island. But he demonstrated something.
Now, even for that, the other thing, like Hong Kong, I think the people used to say, "Oh, we can't be like Hong Kong, free trade and free market kind of a thing," because Hong Kong is too tiny. It's not a country. But look at China. I think it followed the model of Hong Kong, and it really liberalized. And the economy of China is virtually number one today, maybe. Although they have a political totalitarianism, but economically, even till now, other than the monetary control and the monetary monopoly, they have a lot of economic liberalization following the Hong Kong model. So let's say, why can't India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, why can't we follow the Chinese model of liberalization?
They are doing.
What is the problem?
Instead of doing all these things, following the Chinese lines, following what Singapore has done, or Malaysia has done, we are biting each other. We are quarreling each other.
No, I understand.
We have a lot of pleas that we must fight each other.
No, I understand, but আমাদের যে এত বুদ্ধিজীবী আছে, the mainstream economists আছে, those who are thinkers or writers and all those kind of things, even political parties, আমাদের পাশে China is let's say, is our neighbor. Why can't we study how did they improve and eradicate their poverty in such a short time? Why aren't you interested in Chinese liberalization?
Yes,
Do we want to, keep things going as it is because it benefits certain group of people, the so-called elite classes, whether it's Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh? Even Pakistan is so close to China, but they are begging around for bailouts. You look at India. India is stuck. It's not really growing as fast as it can.
It should have
If they
been.
had followed the Chinese model,
Yeah.
I think they are stuck because there's a vested coterie that wouldn't allow the countries to liberalize.
Exactly.
The crony capitalism is thriving.
Exactly, that is what is happening in India, no doubt. As far as China is concerned, we are not following the Chinese model at all. We could have done that because we were much nearer to the Western world. Unfortunate thing is this: China, maybe they have some inner contradiction about the political system and the economic achievements. There are some contradictions. But they build up, I'm sure, I know little about Chinese affairs, but they must have built up some institution. Otherwise, they could not have come up to this position, what they are today.
No, I don't think they did build any institutions. They just freed the economy.
Well,
And including hiring or firing or imported technical investments or FDI, those kind of things. They cut taxes. So they made the environment.
yes, Nizam, it itself is an institution, In a country like ours, in the subcontinent, government controls the most of the business.
Yes.
They have their own system. Even as far as Bangladesh is concerned, they are selling water, they are selling electricity, they are selling gases, they are importing petroleum products.
Okay, I understand your point, but World Bank তো আমাদের কখনো বলে নাই যে তুমি এই water supply privatize বলছে,
Yes.
but to bring in competition they have not been saying.
No.
I remember World Bank বলছে for Wasa or for DESA or this in power distribution that you change the MD, get the MD from the private sector, not from government cadres. So then maybe you'll have a better efficient, which is all rubbish.
No, now I can give you a glaring example. You just look at the telephone sector, mobile telephones. 10, 15 years, 20 years back, we had so much of corruption in this telephone sector. People had to run from table to table, from office to only to have a telephone line.
I know.
Now that is no more there. Why? Because so many mobile companies have come up. They are, of course, there are some corruption within themselves.
So
but
it's
even
a
then,
good example
yes, of course,
liberalization
That's
that
good point.
benefits you and me.
yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
we don't have to run after
Yes.
government bureaucracy
No.
to give me
No.
a phone permit.
it's
So
a
why
great
can't we
relief.
apply this model to the water sector?
Unfortunately, we are not applying it. This is a glaring example. The mobile system in Bangladesh. I came on the other day in a newspaper that we are having at the moment 180 million connections.
Wow.
This I cannot think of in a population of 16.50 million. 160 million people, we are having telephone connection to the extent of 180 million. Can you imagine?
So many people have two or three.
Two or three. Many people have this. Many people are having to. So this is one of the example we can use.
I mean, let's say in Britain the population is maybe 70 million or something like that.
Something like that, 70 million.
We are 160 or now they say 180.
80 million.
We're such a huge market.
Yeah.
All we need is, the government.
Not only that, even a layman can afford to have a mobile phone.
Yes, even the rates can be reduced even further.
Yeah,
down.
it can be reduced even further. It can be reduced even.
But we have our model of economic growth, that the government is supposed to be doing everything. We'll plan it, make the 5-year plans, and then have a tax plan, and then you allocate it to your different.
It is the greatest impediments in our economic system.
So why can't we change this if we follow Chinese model? No, give more importance to the market. Let the people be free to work in the market, to invest, to buy. to sell.
Unfortunately, during the last 60, 70 years, no definite actions were taken in that way. All governments wanted to consolidate. And that is the unfortunate part of this story. Most unfortunate part.
But let's hope you and I and more people like you in the business community, I know that they don't want to talk too much. They want to concentrate on money making. That is fine. But I think they can go for this. They are doing business for 50 years here. They know how the market operates, whether
Yes,
it's foreign market.
Allow me, then I must point out one more thing, very important thing. We do not have professional groups.
We do not have?
Professional groups. We must have professional people. What I mean that when a businessman is doing, he must be professional. When a teacher is teaching, he must be professional. When a doctor or a physician is practicing, he must be professional. So, unfortunately, this is very unfortunate. I'm very, from the heart of my heart, I feel it every day, that nobody is professional. They do not want to earn money by doing his professional job. Rather, they want to grab money.
Now, again, I would blame the system. I would blame the
Could
system.
be, but the mentality is like
Why
that.
we try to bypass the regulations, because it's too complex.
That is unfortunate.
And we are forced to bypass. I am forced to evade my taxes. I am forced to, do a lot of issues that if I follow the
Now, what I mean to say, we can earn money by doing our professional job. But instead of doing that, We are earning money rather than we are grabbing money. This way, that way,
Well,
evading taxes, evading.
For example, I think I'm not in business for a long, long time. You are. Let's say I want to make a government policy on according to the government policy that the garment sector needs backward linkages. Okay, so there's some kind of the government think tanks. They decide, so okay, there's 10,000 crores ready for this for backward linkages. Then you and I, we line up with the bank, have 2 or 3 textile machines, plants, and we over invoice it.
Yes,
So I don't technically have to run the factory for 2 years. I don't have to be competitive. I'm blessed with the government. I have easy money. So I take 50% out and I'm a billionaire.
and you have said that.
How is this model working here?
Yes, of course. You have rightly pointed out over invoicing in case under invoicing is also being done in Bangladesh.
To evade the taxes.
Evade the taxes.
Right.
Under invoicing and over invoicing.
But Ashraf, instead of blaming our government,
No.
like Amratochi, I mean our governments.
Our government.
All governments.
All governments.
Since 71. I'm saying, we are the small guys. Bangladesh, third world, developing. We are developing as if we are somebody very inferior or somebody. We don't understand anything. We need to be spoon fed or whatnot. So let's say the World Bank, the IMF, the UN, they had been telling us what? That
Yes.
get the government.
As far as
You tax the people and generate funds, and what you lack, we will come and give you foreign aid. And this is how you develop.
Now, coming back to the point of this World Bank and IMF, you know better than me what is World Bank and what is IMF. For World Bank is lending money to in different projects. So far I know, I don't know in detail. They only lend money in different projects. This World Bank loan is project-wise. IMF loan is not that.
No, IMF is for the balance of payments and
all
whatnot.
that.
But I'm saying, why should they be dictating us, and why we should be listening to them?
They
Aren't we a sovereign country?
They are not dictating us. Rather, we are giving them chance to dictate us. We are failing in, as you know, that, during the last 75 years, Bangladesh went to IMF 23 times. India went to IMF 7 times.
How many times did China go?
I don't know, but I know Pakistan has gone there for 23 times.
Forget Pakistan. But how many times did China go?
I'm not very
Did
sure.
World Bank give money to China to develop?
Yes.
Maybe very tiny.
Very tiny.
Just a small.
But I don't think they have ever approached IMF.
Not on a regular basis.
No, I don't think China has approached IMF. I'm not very sure. I'll have to check it. And initially, they took some loan from World Bank, so far I remember.
I think just to try it out or whatnot. But China, it broke the shackles of communism or government planning, government-led economics by Deng Xiaoping.
Deng Xiaoping, yes. To me, it should be the eighth wonders of the world.
Yes.
As far as
that's a one-man show. Maybe he was the Li Kuan of China.
Yes, he was even greater than that.
Of course, greater than that. Look at what China is today.
Yes.
Although I don't.
The 1,400 million people, as of today, in China, there are 1,400 million people. He has given them the vision, he has given the guideline.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't like CCP.
That's a different thing. But you can't deny that they have made tremendous progress economically.
Absolutely, they have. But why don't we remind ourselves every day that they have done it because they liberalized the economy? The government took a back seat. I'm not saying the government is completely in the back seat in China. They control the money, which they shouldn't be doing. They should leave it out to the market to produce. And so the money market can take its own shape by the forces of demand and supply, which nowhere happens. But then what is the origin? Was the origin of money controlled by a few people, or was the origin of money evolved by the processes of the market?
But look at our system. It is rather moving other way around. Instead of liberalizing, they are controlling it more and more. Every day, some institutions are coming up,
Too many
semi-autonomous.
institutions. I believe that too many rules and regulations.
Yes, there is no
I
doubt
don't
about
like-
that. I can tell you there is no doubt. There's so many institutions, so many autonomous, semi-autonomous bodies, directors are not at all required.
I think this is the cronies. They are pushing this agenda because look, common man can't walk into the secretariat or even to the bank. He doesn't have access. Okay, you have to be somebody very top in the society, keyboard or whatever. You must be resourceful to enter access these corridors of power.
Yes, of course.
To get this, get that, to move this, move that. But that is why we don't need so many of these regulations. We need economic freedom. Give me my freedom. And that is one reason the informal economy in Bangladesh is so huge.
Exactly.
I think there is at least
Nizami
$1
must be-
trillion,
he must-
$1 trillion outside the Bangladesh. People have hoarded the money abroad
Yes.
because they can't keep it here.
Yes, Nizami must be remembering for the last few years we are discussing it repeatedly that this government controlled economy should go. There will be more and more liberalization. But unfortunately, moving other way around. More and more government control is coming up every day. We can't stop it. Bangladesh is not not the only case. I think
I know it's a global thing.
Yes.
I'm not saying Bangladesh is the only thing.
Yes.
It's a global thing.
Yes, initially I have already told you that Bangladesh cannot be singled out in that way.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's not Bangladesh alone, but it's time to look outside. Look at UN, look at IMF, look at World Bank, look at WHO.
Yes, we have given them chances.
Why are they involving in our...
I give you another example. Look at Middle East. They have enough resources, enough money, but they cannot handle it because they are not prepared to do that. They do not have strength. They do not have the educational or scientific and technological capability to distribute it among themselves. So they are very much dependent. I have seen own eyes in Middle East. Their entire healthcare system is dependent on on foreign doctors, foreign what they call.
That is fine. Even the British NHS, they depend a lot on the foreign skill in the healthcare. That is a law of demand and...
It is not comparable with Britain. They have their own system. They have their own doctors. They have their own resources. They have their own institution, own hospitals.
Britain. No, I mean the doctors and nurses. Now most of the nurses, in 30 years back it was Indians, now it's Africans.
Yes.
Even doctors are from Africa, from outside Britain.
Yes.
So that's a law of nature. If you need supply and demand mismatch. And we don't allow foreign doctors to come here. There are thousands, even you go out. Even I will go out for treatment. Okay? Isn't this bizarre? Isn't this so tragic that why we can't open our healthcare system so that supply can come in? I don't mean foreign. Let's say supply can meet our demand.
What I think, personally, we are not building ourselves. That's the
that is another thing, Ashraf. Sorry, go ahead.
No. We are not building ourselves. We are not getting prepared to face all these things. In the process, we are becoming more and more dependent on other people. They are giving the directions. They are giving the guidelines according to their own sweet will. We are the victims. We can't do that. So why should we go approach IMF? Because we must have made some mistakes.
But I also think that we have grown up, and for a couple of generations, that we believe we need somebody higher and superior than us, okay, who will tell and guide us. They're starting from our infancy to the adult life. We always look up to somebody. So I think that is our problem. We don't believe in us as individuals, and we are also powerful. I can run my own business. But then government thinks, no, you can't. So you have to go to them and get the permission.
And this problem is there not
This
only
is a psychological problem.
this no problem is there not only at the personal level, it is also there in the national level.
Absolutely, I'm saying so. I mean, collectively, of course, we believe that we need a ruler. And
Yes.
ruler is also a human being.
Yes, of course.
Cannot be perfect. Okay? So in that way, I also say America is not democratic. Because if you look at the institutions, they're very, very corrupt. And as time goes by, including the monetary system, it's a total corruption. You know, look at the inflation rate. Look at the value of dollar today. Who has undermined it? You know, it is their corruption. So who are these big guys? The elite financial moguls, you know, who are ruling this. And we are all going by them without challenging them.
We cannot
Without
challenge
allowing
it.
our own system to develop.
We cannot challenge it. In no way we can challenge it.
I think this time is very
Time
much
is that
there,
then we must have their own setup.
because it's awareness. Today, if you are aware that yes, I can do things myself, you know,
Well, if you say that, then I give you the. It is prevailing in the entire country. Everybody's intention is to go to the dreamland in America. Dreamland.
but that was many years back. I don't think now people would
Even
like to go
today,
to it.
even today, our dreamland is the Western country. Even today, it has not been minimized even by 1%. That's my feeling. I may be wrong. It is even today, everybody wants to go. Why? My family members or your family members or our dear and
But Ashraf, you know what? The immigration laws are so strict. You know, like I'm an UK immigrant, and I struggled almost 10 years to get my immigration papers done. And I'm wondering that look, if there were no immigration rules as harsh as those, I wouldn't have wasted my 10 years there. I would have come and gone. Most of the immigrants, those who land up there, they get stuck because they sell everything here to go there. And once you go there, you're stuck with the immigration system. The lawyers make money.
but ultimately they get the citizenship.
And no, yes, 10 years. Minimum 10 years or 5 years, you know.
In the process,
So now they can't come
in the
back.
process, in these 10 years, you are serving them. You are serving the British
I'm
authority.
giving them free labor.
Yeah, free labor. You are serving them. It is to their advantage.
Absolutely. So I don't think even American elites, they care for their American citizens. They care for themselves, the elites.
As we have already mentioned, that in Britain nowadays these nurses are from Africa. They have made it clear. The Western countries have made it clear. We are superior people. Why should you go do our odd jobs? Third world people, third world country people should come here and serve us. Our sweepers, scavengers, hotel boys, bar boys, bus drivers, cab drivers. Very natural. And in fact, they are doing it. They are doing it.
Right.
And in the process, we have made our dreamland to this somehow or other. I know personally so many my friends, my very close friends, those who passed out from Dhaka University in physics department, got first class, and those who have come passed out from Buet. Some of them are cab drivers, some of them are hotel managers, some of them are working in the shops as shop managers. My close friends.
Exactly. Because, you know,
So this, I ask you,
Yeah.
what is this mentality? Why?
We
We must find out the real root cause of this mentality. The root cause is nobody is feeling safe in the country. It is one of the primary reasons which he cannot rule out. Absolutely not.
well, that is one. And I think another thing is we Bengalis, virtually now, we are in every part of the world. You know,
This is not the case with only Bengalis. This is also the case, I understand, with the Indians, with Pakistanis, and many other.
Not so much of Indians and Pakistanis, but Bangladeshis are virtually everywhere in the world.
Yes.
But because I think we also want to see the other side of the world. We think it's much better out there. So we go. People like, the manpower trade and all that. They sell everything and they go off to Middle
This is
East
a
or something.
dismal picture. I'm sorry to say. What I have seen in Middle Eastern countries, in Saudi Arabia, in UAE and many it is so painful. It is so painful that our people are doing so much hard work with a very little salary.
I agree. But
Then again, and let me finish, and we are so proud that we are earning so much of foreign currency.
yeah, that the government is proud that they're earning billions.
Well, not only the governments, you cannot say that. We are also very proud. We are earning so 10 billion, 3
I'm not
billion.
proud at all that they
It is something disgraceful for the nation.
And you see how the manpower, they are struggling at the airport. They have a special counter that when they arrive, you go there and the customs is there.
And in all those countries, they are not even given human treatments.
No. So anyway, there's a lot to talk. I hope I can have you again repeatedly. You remember we used to do microwave radio?
Yes, of course, I should remember. By the way, I remember our friend, what's his name? Who was with us. We have done a lot of programs in the
Zahid Zaman Farooq.
Zahid Zaman Farooq.
Oh, he was such a hit, and I used to enjoy talking.
Yes, he was a good talker, no doubt. We have lost him. So we three made a lot of encounters in the metro. So I must be thankful to you.
Yeah, the only difference is this is not audio, so it's video.
This is also video.
We need to get used to this video.
Yeah. So again, I must be thankful to you for asking
No.
me.
I'm honored that you're here. It's a pleasure to talk to you. But I know this is your first meet. When we are talking informally,
Maybe I have talked out of the way.
No,
Maybe
you
I have talked.
I have learned so much of political, whatever is happening in the world from you. So you're a thorough. You read a lot. I understand that. So I'd like to have you again repeatedly, so that we can express ourselves and let each one of us in this country learn how to express themselves.
Yes, I am honored with you
and,
for
and
the
believe
years.
and believe in
And
themselves.
in fact, we are with each other for the last 56 years.
Yes, we are. Well, thank you, Ashraf.
Thank you. Thank you very
See
much.
you again
Thank you.
very shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Making our economy right, or MOER, is all about a natural individual economic sovereignty, which we have surrendered to our governments. This has been a fact worldwide for decades together. MOER understands that a combination of individual freedom, monetary freedom, the free markets, and property rights can propel economic prosperity in every household in all nations. But how do we bring these to reality or correct the condition that we are in? I think it is by discussing on various platforms with the people that we become aware of the economic truths in knowing what serves us best. Is it the government or us, the people? We want you, not some ivory tower bureaucrat or a Nobel laureate, to fix your economy by proclaiming your naturally endowed economic rights. Thank you. And MOER will continue to talk with people as we do now. Thank you.